Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. This is Juhairah M. Alauya presenting my study, The Effects of Global English on Culture and Identity of the Selected MERANAWS. So we know that the Meranaw people are one of the many indigenous people from Mindanao. They are known to be resilient as well as adapted towards changes. The fact that their adaptive quality makes this issue of cultural identity relevant given that global English has been part of their education. Add to it their exposure to various cultures from different medias. So this paper discusses the importance, feelings, and effects on culture and identity on the selected Meranaw participants. So we know that the emergence of English as a global language and the multilingual nature of most contemporary societies form part of the reality that people from different Asian and contemporary societies, international societies, are compelled to acknowledge. Nowadays, no one questions the global role and importance of English. So what then is a global language? Okay, so according to Crystal in his book in 2003, a language achieves a genuinely global status when it develops a special rule that is recognized in every country. To achieve such a status, a language has to be taken up by other countries around the world. So one predictable consequence of a language going global is that nobody owns it anymore. As Crystal stated, everyone who has learned it has a share in it, or rather, to be accurate, has the right to use it in the way they want. So, also, English has become part of the most educational systems around the world. So, as Pennycock in 2012 stated, it has become one of the most powerful means of inclusion into or inclusion from further education, employment, and social status or positions. So, however, though, there are still researchers and scholars who view the spread of English as a linguistic imperialism. To be positive, though, the continual growth of English as a global language should not be seen as a threat to our being multilingual, but rather as an opportunity to facilitate intercultural communication. So sometimes the tendency to perceive English as a threat to us is because of our country's colonial past. So, however, what is needed or required is a paradigm shift that allows a more positive attitude towards English. So other topics that is discussed in my study is culture and identity. So nowadays, when looking at culture and identity in Meranaw context and its relation to global English, it is necessary to define the term. So culture is easy to define, but today, in our globalized and mobile world, that is not the case. So, before, in the past, culture in its anthropological sense was traditionally seen as a way of life by Young, the ways of people by Ladu, and often a relocation of another way of life by Friedman. But Holiday in 2005, as cited by Hopkins in 2014, moves away from an essentialist view on culture. He stated that a culture is not a geographical place which can be visited to and to which someone can belong, but a social force which is evident wherever it emerges on being significant. So that is culture nowadays. So just an Ingold sums up well. Nowadays, people live culturally rather than living in culture. And just as culture has become a fuzzy concept, identity is of a complex nature as well. So in Norton in 2000,